Shabbat Shalom, everybody. This is Rav Shmuel, Rabbi Stephen, Rabbi Shmuel Rashbi with you once again with this week's 10-minute Torah. I hope you all had a good Passover. I hope it was meaningful to you. You know, when we engage in these festivals, we don't just sit around and pray and do whatever. We actually do something. Uh, Judaism's an in-your-face religion. It really is. It's sort of vicarious that we do things that really bring out what the festival and the holiday is. So Passover, our ancestors wandered in the wilderness for 39 years, but what they did was they left Egypt. It was their freedom. It was our freedom. As they said, all of our souls, all Jewish souls, were at Sinai when Moses, our Rabbeinu, Moses, our teacher, came down with the Ten Commandments. And what Passover shows us, it has us relive the fact that there was the Passover sacrifice, the feast. We have the shank bone of the lamb. We eat the flatbread of matzah for 7 days. And here we go again. You know, you're not supposed to eat leavened products for those 7 or 8 days, 8 days out here in the diaspora. But the question is, do you have to eat the uh, matzah? And rabbis will tell you that, well, you're only obligated for the first day. Sorry, I've seen too many places in the Torah where it says for 7 days you will eat matzah. I know that there's a vav, which is the Hebrew number of six missing, which says, oh, for the 6 days you don't have to. But, I eat matzah for 7 days. That's just me. All right. So that's what we do. We by interfering with a very common activity of eating, it really bears home what Passover is all about. And that's why Judaism does this. And that's why we ask, require, whatever word you want to insert in there, that we relive, that we do these things, fasting for Yom Kippur, building a sukkah for sukkah. So we really, because, well, think of it this way. From God's perception, there's no such thing as time, right? All time exists in one place, one point. So for us, we are getting rid of time. Think about the word what moed means. It means seed. It also means place and time. Chol moed, the intermediate days. Moadim, the festivals. They're places so that our time can be the same time as our ancestors. Interesting, right? Little metaphysical, a little out there, but hey, that's what religion is. It's going beyond the material perception, right? Okay. So with last week's portion, Shemini, this week we're looking at a double portion of the Torah because we have to double up because we've got 4 weeks less, this being a regular year. So there are specific portions that are combined in order to get us to the right schedule so that we go to the high holidays and we're finish up reading the Torah at Simchat Torah, the end of the high holidays. So Tazria-Metzora are combined because they deal with basically the kind of the same thing, which are, I hope you're not eating, but skin eruptions. That's what it is. Boils, different colors that appear as blotches on the skin in different places, either certain places of the body, all over the body, on the head, on the beard, where hair falls out. That's Tazria. Metzora, the second portion, is what do you do about it? So, and by the way, these blotches can also occur on your house. And there's reasons for that as well. The main reason why these things happen. Now, if you look at the Sansino Chumash, you will see Tazria, Beseret, Sayat, all those words interpreted basically as leprosy. And because Rabbi Hertz talks about how it's been interpreted as leprosy. He also says that the conditions displayed more seem to be like elephantiasis rather than actual leprosy. The Art Scroll goes beyond that. It says, nope, neither. It's neither of those. It's something else. It's not even a physical ailment. It's a spiritual ailment. That is why You don't have medical personnel looking at the skin. You have priests who are the officiators of our spiritual realm. They are our spiritual, officiators. We're not really much, well, the Levites were the advisors, right? But it's the priest that makes the diagnosis. Priests have no medical training. They don't really get involved in what ailments are. They're the ones that help you come to spiritual terms, that make you spiritually whole. So this is what the skin manifestations, let's call them manifestations, really are. They're the physical manifestation of a spiritual malady. And what is that spiritual malady? Well, let's kind of work backwards. You've got a physical sign. You've got something going on that people can see. So if it's a spiritual deficiency, then you would think that it has to do with something that somebody's thinking, maybe an impure thought, maybe it's something that someone's done behind the scenes that's remained hidden and now it's being revealed. And that's based and what is it that people would do behind the scenes that would be revealed? Well, when you have people that engage in crimes, theft, burglary, for example, cheating somebody, that basically becomes known because there's a deficiency, right, in a person's holdings, right? If somebody steals from your house, you walk into your house and say, "Where is this thing? Is it gone? Did I lend it to somebody? Did somebody come in and take it?" And that's what it is. Somebody came in and stole it from you when you weren't looking. What about cheating? Well, wait a minute. I get this amount. Now I've only got a lot less amount. What happened? The malady that they're talking about is the group of issues called or of offenses called lashon hara, which means the bad or the evil speech. How does gossip start? Somebody doesn't go out in public and just start talking about somebody. What do? They whisper to somebody or to somebody, or they have a little circle of friends and say, "Hey, this is what this person did," and those people probably end up telling other people. That's the way gossip is. For some reason, we humans seem to revel in the idea of demeaning people. Why? Well, it has to do with self esteem. It has to do with the fact that this is a way we can be better than someone else by talking bad about them, showing their faults, their weaknesses. And if they have faults and weaknesses and we don't, what does that mean? We're better than them. We're better people. We're better able. We deserve to be held in higher esteem. And that's really what this is all about. So the idea of these blotches, these signs, if you will, manifesting on a person's skin is the fact that they're basically being outed as being talebearers, as gossip mongers. And what is the remedy? Not necessarily penalty, because in a sense, there's really been no crime, or has there? But there is a way to overcome this. There is a cure, if you will. There is a remedy, and that remedy is for the person. Once it's been diagnosed by the priest, that person is sent outside the camp. Now, I use the word banished. Some people might say they're put outside the camp for decontamination. Why banished? Banished because they're talking bad about people, and now they get to go outside the camp where they can't spread gossip, they can't spread rumors, they can't talk bad about people. They're on their own. They're out there for 7 days thinking, and 7 days is a number of completion, seven is a number of completion. They're thinking about what they did, or at least they should be. Because if they're not, the priest comes out after 7 days and said, "Well, let's take a look," and the blotches are still there. Well, guess what? You need to stay out here away from people for 7 days, for another 7 days. You haven't learned your lesson. It's amazing that in Judaism, the commandment to not talebear or gossip monger or join with others in the commission of telling lies about people, I've counted about 8 places in the Torah so far where that is discussed as a commandment. And I've said this before, and maybe you're tired of hearing about this, but the commandment to not murder is only 2 places in the Torah. That's right. It's only 2 places where the Ten Commandments are enumerated. in Exodus and Deuteronomy. But not gossiping, all over the place. Starts with the story of Judah and Tamar, where Tamar disguised herself as a prostitute and enticed Judah to sleep with her so that he would give her a son, an heir, and himself an heir. And he at first wouldn't admit to it, but when she said, well, here's a signet and cord and ring of the person that did this, and Judah's like, okay, you know what? You're right and I'm wrong. That was the first instance. Then we got don't bear false witness, don't gossip, don't join in the commission of others. Once again, don't talebear, don't gossip, all over the place. So consider the importance of this. Consider the fact that this is something for which there is a physical malady. Now, of course, we don't have that today, but nevertheless, consider the damage that this has done and always be on guard. Do not join with others in the commission of demeaning others. Bad move. And the Torah really should be an example of how bad it is. The fact that we have the two chapters, two parshas dedicated, devoted to this. Okay. All right. Well, that notwithstanding, Shabbat Shalom. Looking forward to seeing you in services. And thank you, as always, for tuning in.